Okay. All right, you guys. It's July. Who's hanging in there? Oh my gosh, it's so hard with kids at home. It's so hard. But if you remember back in June when I told you guys to lower your expectations for the summer, I hope you all are remembering to do that. I hope you're all remembering to take a deep breath. You guys are doing amazing. Our numbers are tracking so well this month. Side note, in the business that I was in before Zaya, our summer business tanked every single summer. Everybody just took the whole summer off. The numbers were horrible. It was always hard to boost that momentum. And this is such a refreshing pace. So you guys are doing great. And on that note, since it is the 15th of the month and we are exactly halfway through, this is pretty awesome. It is always a really good reminder to just double check your numbers. So I always think a good rule of thumb is to be about a third of the way to your goals halfway through the month. Okay, so after we get off this call tonight, if you want to go ahead and take a look at that, see how you're doing, see where you need to kick it into gear, let me or your mentor know how we can help. Okay. All right, so tonight's call is quick, but I also wanted to leave room for Q&A at the end. If you want to stay on for that, you're more than welcome. If nobody has questions, we can just call it a night. So, but I feel like this is kind of good timing since it's summer and everybody's routines are all over the place, at least I know mine are. It's good to go back to the basics, I think, and really the foundation of our business. So to do that, I thought first we would just touch on mindset. I talk about mindset a lot, so I'm not going to talk too much about that tonight, but really that mindset feeds into the rest of our conversation this evening. So do you have what it takes to be mentally strong in this business? Are you strengthening your mindset muscle all the time? It's something we have to work on all the time. Do you have limiting beliefs? Do you have red light stories that you tell yourself? Because if so, if there's nothing else you take from tonight's call, I just want you to remember this, you guys. Be brave, not perfect, right? If that can be your goal in life, that is how I live every single day, is I try to be brave and be bold. I'm not perfect. I don't even try to be, what in the heck? My dog's trying to get under something, sorry. See how it's all gonna go preachy on you, and now my dog's trying to get underneath my sofa table. Okay, so you guys, there's seasons in your business where it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be challenging. Things are not gonna work out the way you want them to. And you know I'm always 100% transparent with you guys. Right now, recruiting is hard for me. I'm struggling with this. And so I know that because I've been doing this for long enough, I know that this is just a season. And I'm proud of myself for putting in the hard work, regardless of the outcome, because I am doing those hard things. So I just want you guys to remember that. As long as you are putting in the work, you have to differentiate yourself from the outcome. So whether you are a new rep or a seasoned rep, I think it's really important that we evaluate where we're at in our business periodically so that we can track our progress along the way. So I had a couple things for you guys tonight. There was this little Zaya wheel, and there's also an outline. You do not have to have the outline open. It's just, I'm kind of an outline person, so I like doing that. But you do not have to have that open. But I thought what we would do first is a fun little exercise tonight with our Zaya wheel. So if you didn't get a chance to print it out, that's okay. You can follow along anyway. But really, I thought about our business and what we do on a day-to-day basis. And these were kind of the 5 main spokes that I feel like are all equally important in our business. You might be in a different stage of your business than your neighbor, than your friend, and that's okay. But I feel like as you grow in your leadership and in your team, that these are all really important. So we have prospecting or recruiting, we have marketing, we have bookings and events, we have team trainings, or leadership really is what that is, and sales. And so what I thought you guys could do, if you just wanted to take a couple minutes, is evaluate where you are at this given point in your business, where you're falling on the lines of each of these. So if you're closest to the Zaya moon, that means you have some work to do. That means you're really, really struggling. As you go up to the end, there's like 10 lines there. That means you are doing the best that you can. There's nothing else that you can do. So if you all just want to take a couple minutes and just kind of mark where you're at on each of these, and then we're going to draw a circle around it. Okay, and we'll talk about what that means in just a second. Oh, and I think I might have music for you too. Let me see. I don't know if you can hear it. This is my new favorite song. Give you just a minute. What I say to my son, to my daughter, they came and asked about these days. Okay, I love that song, but I can't give you all 5 minutes to do that. That would take too long. All right, show me your wheel if you want to. You don't have to. This is like preschool. I taught preschool for a long time, so I'm like, show me your work if you want to. I want to know what your wheel looks like, because when it comes down to it, I want you to think about this as a wheel. Oh, there's Danielle's. Here, draw a circle around it. I want to see like what it would look like on your car. Because really, if you think about this, if this was a tire on your car, how far would you get? Is it like semi-round that you can at least get to like the nearest gas station? Is it like super just wavy? Okay, that's not going to get you too far right now in this business. So you're going to have to fix your tire a little bit. And that's awesome. You can inflate in different ways. I want to see, does anybody else have a wheel? Oh, Alicia has a wheel. Let me see.
I think I have the first one.
Oh, you have the blank one. I want to see your actual one. There's Susie's. There you go. I love it. All right, so here is my thought on this wheel. I feel like it's better to be consistently weak in these areas than it is to be super strong in one or another. That's really going to throw off the rest of your business. So if you are new to Zaya and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't recruited a single person yet, that's down at 0. That's okay, because take a look at the rest of your wheel, and just, it's a visual that we can work on to inflate those areas in our business that need a little help. So Devin says, I did mine on my computer. I need to air out my wheel. See, that's okay. And I think the fun part about this, I dated mine for today, is that we can evaluate these, even every quarter. I think it's always good to kind of go back and look. So, okay, there's that part. Now, I have a bunch of windows open, sorry. Okay, so now that we evaluated our business in its current form, I think it's good to kind of dive in a little bit closer. So it's summer. There's always a lot going on. There's a lot going on in life in general, right? It doesn't matter if you're a parent. It doesn't matter your working situation. There's a lot going on in life. And it's always a delicate balance of your time and your energy to make sure that you're investing in the right things. So I feel like, and this is something maybe you guys have read too, kind of these life buckets, and that they really break it down into about 7 different buckets. So there's mind, body, emotion, career, finances, relationship, and fun, entertainment. These are all things that make us who we are. These are all things that help us live a balanced life. And so really tonight I thought we could extrapolate the idea of the life buckets and really just focus on the career aspect in terms of our weekly planning. And what this does, and if you have the outline open that I put, that Wick shout out, you can scroll down to my weekly buckets, which don't have to look like yours, but this is kind of how I plan my week. And what this does is it really helps me set boundaries with my time, and then it helps me prioritize. Because what I have learned over the years is if you do not set limits, then you can't know when you're done, all right? And if we don't have priorities, then there's really no way that we can track our progress. So does that kind of make sense? So my weekly buckets are, I guess, my way of improving my effectiveness. I'm a reformed perfectionist. I used to work till the work was done, and y'all know it's never done. So these buckets are kind of my way of working through my priorities so that I can produce better results at a more sustainable pace and really remember the priorities that I have also in the rest of my life bucket. So you remember the career bucket is only one of those 7, okay? So just to go through these really quick, Mondays are kind of my team day, my team uplift day. So I like to do team trainings or the 2-minute mornings in our group. I really like to do our shout outs, our team welcome for new members that day. We have our company-wide call on the first Monday of the month, so I feel like that fits in really well. And then I'm really liking the Monday night calls once a month with you guys. It's just so hard with sports. We're kind of at a lull right now, so I'm going to keep it like this for now, but this fall, just know it may change. But anyway, Mondays are kind of my team day. And then Tuesdays are really more of that prospecting, those booking events, because I feel fresh in the week yet on a Tuesday. So I really love doing those reach outs to my prospects and having those recruiting conversations. I'm feeling excited. It's the beginning of the week yet. So I feel like my prospects can sense that versus waiting until like Friday, Saturday, when I'm just like kind of done. Does that make sense? Also, I feel like this is a really great day that I can reach out to new hosts too. Wednesdays, y'all know Wednesdays are our weekly launch days. So those are really focused on sales for me. Wednesdays are also the day that I like to kick off my online events with my hostesses. And just really, I'm kind of at my computer or on my phone for a couple hours on Wednesdays, either messaging, texting, emailing, posting about the new releases, that type of thing. Thursdays, marketing. Now, this can include a lot of different things, but really it comes down to kind of working on my monthly newsletter content that I do for my network, or thinking about the social media posts that I want to kind of do over the next week. How do I want to engage, entertain, or educate on my social media? And then kind of making graphics, that type of thing. So I try to batch all of that if I can. Fridays are my swing day. So this is kind of our catch-all day for me, where I'm tying up my loose ends. I'm double-checking on things with customer service before they close down, checking on returns that are outstanding. Maybe I'm following up with customers, wrapping up my online events on Fridays, that type of thing. And then weekends are planning and recharging. All right, it's really important to do that, you guys. I will tell you all the time that we are not our jobs. So it's really important to recharge. Okay, now this last part about daily habits, this is just really quickly an overview. I put in the WIC shout out some checklists that Chrissy uses. These are also in Team Uplift under our units. We have a whole unit on checklists and things like that. Now, these checklists may or may not work for you, and that's okay. You can kind of figure out what you need to do every single day. These are the things that Chrissy does every day. Maybe it's different for you, but I feel like the important thing about this is that these habits are the things you do every single day to determine your success. So what are you anchoring yourself to? And more importantly, what are you willing to give up to do that? All right. So think about those. And my habits really are kind of my non-negotiables. So these are the things that I do every single day, regardless of how I'm feeling, regardless of if I have the motivation or not. These are things I do every single day. So I do at least 30 to 60 minutes of exercise, daily activity, that type of thing. 30 minutes of professional development or personal development. That's usually in the form of a podcast, Audible, book. I also talk to at least one person about Zaya every single day. And I do at least one thing every day to move my business forward. Lastly, I hydrate. I know that sounds dumb, but they always say you can't pour from an empty cup, right? And I really feel like that's a literal thing. So I hydrate every day. Those are my non-negotiables. So if anybody else has non-negotiables they want to share, that'd be great. Otherwise, that's kind of it. And I thought we could just open up for any questions that you guys have. What's going on in your businesses right now? Does anybody have anything that they want? You can unmute if you want, but something that's you're struggling with, something that's working for you. What's going on?
I have one.
Go for it.
Okay. So you worked, this isn't really from my I guess my bucket is kind of dry at times. When did you decide to leave your other job for Zaya?
Oh, see, this is when we so this is about the going all in thing that I posted about in our group the other day. So I've always been 100% transparent. I was not committed to this business fully until at least 6 months in. Summit last year was in September. That was the time that I said, oh my gosh, these are my people and I feel like I'm home. And that was the most overwhelming feeling. I had an 8-hour drive back to Colorado from Utah. And in that 8 hours, I was trying to figure out the best way that I could resign from my business and put all my eggs in that one basket. So that was really the deciding factor for me. So it's been since September of last year, almost a year.
That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, that's where I was at. Just like even being a teacher, it's hard because I have to sign a contract. So then I'm going to be kind of locked in, but I would really like to go all in. So I'm kind of at that tipping. I don't know.
It's hard. That tipping point is hard because you're overlapping for a good chunk of your time and you're working odd hours, you're working daytimes, evenings, you're wondering if it's all going to be worth it. And there are probably going to be a lot of tears and a lot of fears, and you just have to know internally. I mean, you'll know, you'll just know, and you'll know when it's right, and it's going to be scary as hell when you do make that change. But if you have faith, I feel like it will guide you to where you're supposed to be.
That helps a lot.
But it's also okay to do this. Like, I mean, I know speaking with you, Devin, like you're a rock star. Like I know you're all in, but it's also okay to be all in without being able to devote 30 hours a week to this business too, right? If you're mentally all in and you only have 2 hours a week that you can devote to Zaya, make the most of those 2 hours. That doesn't mean that you're not all in. That just means that you have less time. So you have to get more shit done. So I feel like that's okay too. Sorry, I cuss a lot. Sorry, I try really hard not to, but sorry if that offends people. All right. Anybody else? No, it's okay. I know it's summer. My kids are outside. I'm surprised nobody's come in with their undies on yet, like on their head or something. So, if you guys think of anything after we hop off this call, because I know that always happens, just message me, reach out. If you don't have my email, let me know. Otherwise, work on your wheel. Work on inflating those parts that need a little bit of TLC, a little patch, if you will, because then I guarantee you that you put some air in that part, and then the next month you'll need to focus on something else. So that's okay too. All right, my team Uplift. It's so good to connect with you guys. I always love seeing your faces. All right, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Let us know what we can do to help. We'll see you guys later.